Tonight, Weather Authority Chief Meteorologist Dan. Let's get in the pool and look at an eclipse.
Let's do it. Maybe like a hot tub or something. That sounds like a good time. Early on Wednesday morning. So you're going to have to get up early for this if you want to see it. And you might have to go a little farther inland or higher in elevation, as we do have some clouds in the forecast. But we've got a total lunar eclipse on the way. That's coming on Wednesday morning. And here's what's happening. Basically, the full moon will pass through the Earth's shadow on Wednesday morning, and it will look kind of a dark reddish color. Now, the light does still bend around the Earth, even though it's completely within the Earth's shadow. The light will bend around the Earth and kind of scatter out a little bit so that you get the red hues on the moon. But yeah, it's going to be at max around 4:18, 4:20 a.m. on Wednesday morning. The actual partial lunar eclipse begins at 2:44 a.m. So you'll start to see that dark line creep across the moon at 4:18, and it's at its fullest. And then at 5:52, that eclipse, the partial eclipse will end. So that's about the time period. You got some time, a couple hours there, but it will be a little chilly. Temperatures in the upper 40s, and skies will be partly cloudy. So if you live around the bay, chances are you're not going to have a good chance of seeing it. Maybe a little better chance in Santa Cruz than Monterey and Salinas, for example, but we will have some low clouds out there. My advice to you, head up in elevation, head up to the top of the Santa Cruz Mountains, maybe Summit Road, Fremont Peak, maybe the road up there. I don't know if the actual park will be closed, or maybe into southern Monterey or San Benito counties. So that's my advice. You may see me out there. I've got a new camera to play with. Looking forward to checking it out. Visible clouds showing just a few low clouds around the peninsula tonight. Otherwise, skies mostly clear. The bigger picture showing high pressure now starting to move out. It just blew past us to the south today, bringing its warm temperatures. We warmed up quite a bit, in some cases 5 to 10 degrees today, but it's already on its way out of here, which means we're going to start cooling back down again. And with that said, a few low clouds will be returning tonight. It'll take some time for that to happen, so most of the evening will be mostly clear. You may see a few low clouds out there, but by tomorrow morning, I'm expecting patchy low clouds around the bay and perhaps into some of our inland valleys as well, as the marine layer starts to rebuild itself with high pressure moving on. Tomorrow afternoon, a few low clouds may linger on the south side of the bay again, but otherwise looking like a pretty nice day, just a touch cooler than what we saw today. And then I think tomorrow evening the clouds will be a little bit thicker around the coast. Temperature-wise, we're going to be in the low 80s back into Boulder Creek and Ben Lomond. You got to the mid to upper 80s today, so that's a decrease. 70s down along the coast, 70s up top of Highway 17 as well. Even Bonnie Doon coming back into the mid-70s tomorrow. Watsonville, you're staying in the 70s tomorrow. We'll be in the 60s in Prunedale and Salinas, 70s in Hollister and San Juan, and touching 80 there in Gilroy. On the southeast shore of the bay, hard to get out of the 50s tomorrow with winds coming in off the water. In fact, Pacific Grove, you may not get out of the 50s. 61 in Monterey, only 60 in Seaside. These locations dropping a couple of degrees tomorrow. And then farther south, temperatures in the 80s. In the far south, 70s as you head closer to the coast. Over the next 7 days, temperatures on the coast will cool off a bit on Wednesday and then head back upward on Thursday and then head back downward on Friday. We have some fast-moving weather systems to the north, each one of them bringing a slightly cooler air mass, and then in between, a ridge of high pressure, slightly warmer air mass. That's why we're going up and down a little bit. It does look like next week, though, a strong ridge of high pressure builds in, and that probably will mean a big warm-up for us. So enjoy the seasonable to slightly cool temperatures in the meantime, because I think it's going to get quite toasty next week, especially inland. Inland areas, your normal high this time of year should be around 77, so we're at or above that for the next several days. It's going to be windy in the valleys every day, but of course you're used to that. And then again, next week, keep an eye on that forecast. If you don't like the heat and do need to be aware of that, we will be keeping you up to date on that, because I think it's going to get quite toasty.